Okay, so Bambi has a date. All right. This must be Bambi sex. This is interesting. I don't know what to say. How you doing, my brother?
Oh,
sorry.
no, you good.
Speech.
Sorry, I was giving a speech.
You know, it does bother me that Bambi is so nonchalant to walk in here with T.O., but this is the same person who admitted that she was dealing with Scrappy while he was living with Erica Dixon. So the more I dig into who she is, I see why you're standing here like this is normal.
Oh my goodness. We need to talk about what's happening with Lil Scrappy from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, because this story has me completely shook. Everyone knows Scrappy as this force of nature on the show, always keeping it real about his personal struggles. But what just went down with his ex-wife, Bambi? It's absolutely devastating, and I have all the details that will break your heart. Let me set the scene for you, because this isn't just another reality TV moment. This is real-life drama that's going to have you reaching for the tissues. When Scrappy found out that Bambi, his ex-wife and the mother of his children, was pregnant with her new boyfriend's baby, the raw emotion that came pouring out of that man was almost too much to bear. We're talking about pure, unfiltered pain that had everyone in tears. Now let me take you back and spill all the tea about Scrappy and Bambi's relationship, because, child, this story has more layers than a wedding cake. Their love story was the definition of a roller coaster romance, the kind that makes great TV but terrible real life. The chemistry between these two? Electric, magnetic. The kind that lights up a room and makes everyone believe in love. But underneath all that passion was a marriage that was struggling to stay afloat. You see, their relationship wasn't just complicated. It was a maze of emotions, disagreements, and moments where they both questioned everything. The arguments? Legendary. The trust issues? Through the roof. And don't even get me started on the rumors of infidelity that kept circulating. It was like watching a beautiful dream slowly turn into a nightmare, and nobody could wake them up. Their different life goals started pulling them in opposite directions, and despite all the love they shared, sometimes love just isn't enough. The separation felt like it was written in the stars, but that didn't make it any easier to watch. And Scrappy? Lord have mercy, that man took it hard. Even after the divorce papers were signed, sealed, and delivered, he couldn't seem to shake off the ghost of what they once had. The memories of their time together haunted him like a beautiful but painful melody that just wouldn't stop playing. Every hope they had shared, every dream they had built together, it was all still living rent-free in his heart. And if you've been following Love and Hip Hop, you know our boy Scrappy isn't the type to just bounce back with a quick rebound. When this man loves, he loves with every fiber of his being, especially when it comes to the mother of his children. After the split, they tried to keep things civil for the kids. You know how it goes. They attempted that whole peaceful co-parenting situation that everyone talks about, but few can actually pull off. Some days were better than others. Sometimes they managed to keep things cordial, sharing those forced smiles and awkward small talk that divorced couples do. But underneath all that politeness, the emotional current was running deep and strong. While Scrappy was still nursing his broken heart, trying to figure out how to navigate this new normal, Bambi was moving forward with her life. And let me tell you, watching someone you love move on without you, that's the kind of pain that hits different. Scrappy tried his best to respect her decisions, to be the bigger person, but honey, some days were harder than others. Deep down, he wanted her to be happy. That's what you do when you truly love someone, right? But the thought of her finding that happiness with someone else, that was a bitter pill to swallow. After all, they weren't just any couple. They were family. They had shared dreams, plans, and a bond that went deeper than just marriage. They had created life together, shared countless moments, both good and bad, and built a foundation that Scrappy thought would last forever. Now, let me tell you about the moment that changed everything. Picture this: Scrappy, still trying to guard his heart, still trying to convince himself that he was moving on, gets hit with the news that Bambi is expecting a baby with her new man. The shock of it all? Child, it was like watching someone get their heart ripped out in slow motion. This wasn't just any news. This was the kind of announcement that makes your whole world stop spinning. For someone like Scrappy, who had been working so hard to heal from the wounds of his past, this was like ripping off a bandage and finding out the cut was still fresh underneath. The pain wasn't just about the pregnancy itself, it was about what it represented. This wasn't one of those situations where time heals all wounds. This was the kind of news that forces you to face reality head-on, that makes you understand that sometimes, no matter how much you want something to work out, no matter how hard you pray for things to be different, life has other plans.
Ass on that from 10 years ago.
You talking about sliding the bitch? You
right
still
here,
sitting
bitch.
the
My mouth is right.
You
What's
talking about
good,
bitch?
Amy?
You talking about bitch? You think a bitch like me scared of you, asshole? I drag your ass on my mama, bitch.
Do it, Amy.
I definitely plan on using my words with Bambi. That's always my first start as a woman. But don't get too damn about your height or your size or the width of the gums. None of that matters to me. Who getting slid, sis?
You can't even drag your height across.
You done drug it across everybody.
Let me find out.
Let's keep it moving.
You worried about from 10, 13 years ago.
I'ma let you finish.
That I ain't even touched. But did he ever take you on a date?
Bitch, when you kiss and smell my from the front to the back.
I'm never kissing him.
And I hope I don't get bored and let Scrappy do it.
You're a nasty
You have no loyalty.
Rashida, why you waiting? Could you get this bitch some more views on her music post?
I got the feature with Spice that you were begging for. Bye-bye, C.
When I tell you Scrappy's reaction was heartbreaking to watch, I mean it tore at the soul of everyone who witnessed it. Those tears that welled up in his eyes, they weren't just regular tears of sadness. They were tears filled with loss, with regret, with the kind of love that never really had the chance to properly heal. Each tear that fell was like a story of what could have been, what should have been, but never would be. Here was a man who had given his whole heart to Bambi, who had tried everything in his power to make their marriage work. He had stood by her side through the storms, celebrated with her during the sunshine, and now he was forced to stand on the outside, watching as she created new life, new memories, new dreams with someone else. The weight of that reality was almost too much for him to bear. This moment wasn't just about a marriage that had ended, it was about watching the final chapter of a love story close in the most painful way possible. It was about facing the harsh truth that someone you once shared everything with was now sharing their most intimate moments with another person. For Scrappy, who had already weathered so many storms in his life, from his challenging childhood to the ups and downs of his career in the music industry, this felt different. This wasn't something he could fix with money, fame, or success. This wasn't a problem he could solve by working harder or being better. This was a wound that cut straight to his soul, the kind that makes you question everything you thought you knew about love and life. When Scrappy finally broke down, it wasn't just for show. This was the real, raw, unfiltered emotion of a man who had tried so hard to maintain his tough exterior, finally crumbling under the weight of his pain. The man who had always prided himself on being strong, on being able to handle whatever life threw his way, couldn't hold back the flood of emotions any longer. His love for Bambi had been real, the kind of love that changes you, that makes you believe in forever. And watching her build a new forever with someone else, that was the kind of pain that brings even the strongest person to their knees. The fans of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta had watched Scrappy evolve over the years, had seen him grow from a young hothead into a mature man, but this moment showed them something new entirely. This was Scrappy at his most vulnerable, his most human. It was a stark reminder that no matter how tough someone appears on the outside, no matter how many walls they build around their heart, they're still capable of being deeply affected by love and loss. His story, though played out on reality television, spoke to something universal, the raw, unfiltered pain of watching someone you love create a new life without you. This wasn't just another dramatic moment for the cameras. This was a man facing the reality that the woman he had once promised forever to was now promising forever to someone else. It was about learning that sometimes love, no matter how strong, no matter how pure, isn't enough to keep two people together. For Scrappy, This painful revelation became a turning point in his emotional journey. It wasn't just about accepting that his chapter with Bambi was over. It was about learning to write a new story for himself. It was about finding the strength to heal, to move forward, even when every step felt like walking on broken glass. The process of healing wouldn't be quick or easy. There would be good days and bad days, moments of strength and moments of weakness. But through it all, Scrappy's story served as a reminder that even in our darkest moments, even when it feels like the world is moving on without us, we can find the strength to keep going. His journey became a testament to the resilience of the human heart, how it can break into 1,000 pieces but somehow find a way to beat again. It was about learning that sometimes the bravest thing we can do is let go, even when every fiber of our being wants to hold on. In the end, Scrappy's story wasn't just about heartbreak. It was about growth, about finding the courage to face tomorrow even when today feels impossible. It was about learning that while love might not always last forever, the lessons it teaches us, the strength it builds in us, and the growth it inspires in us can change us for the better, even through the pain. And as the cameras continued to roll, capturing every tear, every moment of vulnerability, every step of this difficult journey, Scrappy's story reminded us all that healing isn't about forgetting. It's about finding the strength to remember without breaking, to love again without fear, and to believe that somewhere, somehow, happiness is still possible, even after the most devastating of heartbreaks.